predatory journal. Predatory journal. How do we identify that a journal is not a predatory journal? What are the consequences if it turns out that we accidentally submit or publish in that predatory journal? Yeah, maybe Prof. Mati first.
Well, this is a big problem because we have, if you just check the internet, I think there are about 5,000 e-journals now in the world, and 95% of them are extremely low quality or fakes. So, I mean, many universities, including my university, select, they say, well, in the ENT field, you have like these 15 or 20 international journals, which we consider as high quality. And if you publish outside, then you cannot use it in your academic world. So I think one should keep to well-established journals, because new journals are popping up every day almost, and they stay for a year or two, or they're open access. You have to pay a lot of money, and if they're not indexed, they will just disappear. So this is a real big problem today.
Okay, so Anggi, do you have any experience to avoid this predatory journal? Because sometimes our email is a lot of come with the asking for submitting our works.
And we feel so flattered because of it. And then it's a predatory journal, oh no.
So well, do you have any experience, Anggi?
Yeah, yes, I did. And maybe I'm agree with Prof. Mati, and I want to show something with the share screen for a bit. Because I found this one, I think it's very interesting. It's like the guidelines to check whether it's a predatory journals or not, but I think it's already included in what Prof. Mati already mentions before. Like, do you know real about the journal, and can you identify and contact the publisher? And is it clearly information regarding the peer review or the article processing charge and everything? And then whether it's in the one of the affiliation or something. We just have to check whether it exists, the existence, and whether it's qualified or not. So it's just like the things that you have to remember before you submit your paper, and to check whether it's a predatory journal or not. So I think I agree with Prof. Mati. It's quite tricky actually, yeah, Prof?
Yeah, thank you, Anggi. There is a question to Prof. Mati Aniko. Based on your experience, what is the most common reason for journal being rejected? It is lack of originality, novelty, or significance.
Well, you know, there must be some new information, some new knowledge. You cannot only repeat a study. You know, I have quite interesting example. I know about 1 year ago, I rejected a paper where there was an author who had performed almost 2,000 laryngectomies, and that was he was around 45 years or something like that, from a big country, and you know, laryngectomies have been performed since 1814. I think we made the first one in Europe, you know, for 200 years almost. But there was extremely impressive number. I mean, 2,000, my God, I mean, this is for one surgeon, this is fantastic. But so what? Nothing new. You must provide new knowledge somehow. And I think this is the most important reason why it is rejected. You lack new knowledge. you cannot just confirm what somebody has done 15 times ago, 15 times before. I mean, there must be something new.
Okay. Thank you so
Dr.
much.
Linda,
Yeah.
can I ask Prof. Mati? Can I ask about how the probability of being accepted in a journal if the paper is about the feasibility, the survey feasibility study, Prof? Because I found that my paper is very hard to be accepted because the reason is just like, it's a survey, this is a feasibility study and things like that. Is it really very difficult to be accepted?
No, it's a matter of quality. I mean, it's a good paper. I mean, and I think it's no problem. It's a quality aspect.
Mm. So it's not because of its very local settings, yeah? So it doesn't matter.
No, for me it doesn't matter.
Okay.
It's just a matter of quality. If it is a well-performed study, if you have new information, that's fine.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Thank you, Anggi. So I have still have questions from Handoko. If we are making a clinical trial and there are various sites to submit our protocols, such as in clinical trial, what is governor later, if we wish publish, is that acceptable? Or we need to submit our protocol in country-specific registry where we aim to publish our work. What does it mean?
I think it's about clinical trial registry.
Yeah, clinical trial.
Okay. Anggi or Prof. Mati?
Yeah, Anggi first.
No, we don't require that, because I mean, if you write the paper in an honest way, we don't need additional information.
Okay.
But you should submit the number of the protocol and where it is registered, and I mean these things. So it's open. So if somebody really wants to check, then it's easy to find. But you don't need to submit it.
Okay. Anggi, you want to add some more informations?
Yes, I agree with Prof. Mati. The important thing is the accessible, yeah, the access. You have to make an access for other people to check your publication. So protocol is very important for me. It's very important to register your clinical trial. And for me, I conducted my study in Indonesia, but then I registered in Australian clinical registry, and it will be indexed also in the clinical trial gov and international thing. I think it doesn't matter. Indonesia also has some clinical trials registry, but I found it's kind of, maybe I have a bad experience because it's very difficult to register in my Indonesian clinical trial registry. So if you can register both, I think it's okay, but I think the international like clinical trial gov or HWO, I think is enough. But the important thing is you just you have to make your protocol accessible for everybody.
Yeah, agree.
Yeah. This is a question for you, Prof. Mati. Why are meta-analysis studies not given priority?
You know, you can manipulate a meta-analysis study in such a way that if you don't include all available then if you just select a few, you can get any result you want. It's, I've been calculating this, and I have had experts showing how it is very easy to manipulate, not manipulate, but let's say you can have the result you want, because if you just exclude some studies, include others, then you can just focus. I want this result, and then you have the papers supporting your idea. So I'm not so fond of them. But of course, other editors maybe think otherwise, but I'm not happy about it.
Yeah, maybe you have another difference overview, Anggi?
Can I ask Prof. Mati, Dr. Linda?
Yes.
Yeah. One thing, as I know, the thing that we can check whether there's some bad things happens, in the conducting a meta-analysis is the publications bias, So I'm wondering, because not all the authors can, conduct that, because there are some limitations of doing the publications bias, like the funnel plot and so on. So I'm wondering, if the authors didn't do it, do the journal will do it and check whether it's there like a potential publication bias in that meta-analysis, or just accepting whatever the author said or report?
Well, I have 3 full-time secretaries, and we don't have time to check. So I usually reject them. Because okay, they can try it in another journal, but I'm not so happy about this. We cannot put too much work to checking, to go in and work. That takes about 1 day. We have been doing it, but it takes 1 or 2 days to go through the materials, and then if you have 1,000 manuscripts inflow, it's impossible. I only do the decisions, so I don't put too much, but people are working like mad, on the practical things.
Yeah.
I'm very sorry, but it's an honest answer.
Okay, thank you, Prof. There is a question from Ko Stella. Prof. Mati Aniko, I see your point that case reports, review articles, and meta-analysis often lack importance and objectivity. However, as aspiring medical doctors, not yet otolaryngologists or residents, we have limited options if we want to publish specialistic prospective clinical studies. Do you have any suggestions which kind of publications best for someone who do not have access to conduct clinical studies?
Well, if I just comment on case reports, they are so specific, so probably nobody will refer to it and maybe not read it at all. Meta-analysis and review papers, and they are nice to read, but then I must think about the citations for the journal. If you look at the papers written, very few are referring to review papers, which means that from a journal point of view, they don't get credit. They don't give us credit. So that's why I have excluded them. They are maybe interesting for a clinician to read. And I also can enjoy a reading review, but it doesn't add much. And the second thing is, everything takes time for publication. And if you write a review and it is published 1 year later or 10 months later, other things have happened during the meantime. So case reports of no interest and the reviews of no interest, because they don't give the journal anything. Maybe they are interesting for the reader, but I must think about the journal also.
Okay, thanks, Prof. Mati. This is help us to evaluate. So, Anggi, maybe you want to add something?
Yeah, maybe I have quite a bit different perspective from Prof. Mati, because I think systematic review and meta-analysis is quite important. It's reached the highest level of evidence, and it's a research. It's not like experimental. It's observational, but it's quite high quality research. So I think if a resident or a researcher do not have an access to do a clinical trial, for example, during the pandemic, it's very difficult to find a patient. Like in our faculty, Faculty of Medicine, Universitas Indonesia, we actually can accept a systematic review meta-analysis for the thesis for the residency program, because it's very exhausting process. Yeah, like my Cochrane's review, it's been published and I've been doing it for 2 years. And it's very exhausting with a very strict guidelines and things so on. So I think it's worthwhile to try if those people like a doctor who asked doesn't have an access for clinical trials. Yeah, I think it's one of the options. And regarding the case presentation, there's a few international journals which accept the case presentation, so like BMG or ACTA, Indonesian ACTA, I forgot the name. It's also accept the case presentation, and we already introduced the evidence-based case presentation, and I think it's very good to combine the case presentation itself with the evidence-based medicines approach. And I think it will like increase the quality of the paper itself. Yeah, I think that's my opinion, Dr. Linda.
Thank you. So I think, yeah, suddenly my screen is gone. So, okay, I have I have one important questions that's how to, this is for both of you maybe, yeah? How to propose a waiver for APC and waiver, is it possible, whether is it possible since Indonesia is not a low middle income country anymore? Maybe this goes to Professor Mati.
Yes, please. I really want to hear the answer too.
What do you want me to answer?
Yeah.
Allow us to be your journal.
Is it possible? No, because we are not in the low middle include in the low middle income country anymore.
No, I don't have any specific comment. You know, it's well, you are regarded as any other country, so it's no plus and no minus.
Okay, it's okay. And then we don't have to ask for the answer. So, Anggi, do you want to have some more informations about that?
No, yeah, I'm just realized that it's good that Indonesia is not included as the low middle income anymore, and now we become upper middle, I think. But unfortunately, it's now we're not a candidate for the charge, the waiver anymore. So I think it's very important when you're proposed for a grant, like a research grant, we have to include the publications charge a cost into that our calculation and propose it to our grant provider. And also the institution sometimes also provide that, like Universitas Indonesia and Dr. Cipto Mangunkusumo hospitals also have a publication grant for it. I know it's not very much, yeah, but I think it's very helpful for us to pay the charge. Maybe sometimes you can just send a letter. Well, maybe it will be rejected and ask for a waiver, but I think there's nothing wrong to try. Maybe that's my answer.
Yeah, I think the better is when we ask for the grant, we have to put the specific amount for the publications.
Yeah, the budget, yeah.
Including the publications fee. So the last questions, I think this is from the one that just graduated from the ENT specialist. As a researcher, during the process, we have too many important informations or outcomes, which are not enough space to publish all at once. How to choose which to cut and which to deliver in a paper? Maybe, Anggi?
Okay, from my experience, of course, when we're doing a conducting trial, like when we thinking about doing the trials, there will be a lot of things that you want to fix, yeah?
Yes.
So I think it's very important to identify the most important things. And then we have to get back about the patients-oriented evidence, the patients-oriented outcomes. That's very important. Giving back the result of our research to the patients. So I think it's very important to identify the most important things on your research, which is concentrate on the patients itself, and then that's your priority for now. And the other one, you can put it in a secondary outcomes, but please just stick on the important self.
Yeah. I completely agree. I think it's very important to have this primary endpoint. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Professor Mati and Dr. Anggi. I think we almost come into the end of this interesting webinar, because we almost 2 hours, and then we are really happy and we are really glad that we have the most important and then share the knowledge and share the experience of Prof. Mati Aniko and Dr. Respati Ranakusuma. So I think before I close, I just we learned a lot from this well-known Prof. Mati, and also experience of Dr. Anggi. So I just would like to say that when life gets you down, you know what you gotta do. Just keep swimming. Means keep doing research, writing, and publishing. Do you agree, Prof. Mati?
Great. Thank you. Perfect.
Yeah. Do you agree, Anggi?
Yes. Oh, and one more. Learn to accept rejection.
Yes. That's a good point, yeah. But never surrender, never give up. Just keep going on, yeah. Okay.
Keep swimming.
I agree.
Yeah,
swimming.
Okay. Thank you so much for all the attendees, the participants that stay until late, until 2 hours. I hope that this 2 hours webinar, how to provide the good article and how to to choose the publication and how to make a publications, and it's helped a lot, and then keep doing the good works. And thank you so much, especially for Prof. Mati Aniko, for your busy, tight schedule. You still keep the time for us, and we are really appreciated. And then also Dr. Anggi Respati Ranakusuma, I know you are still young, but we already learned a lot from you. Keep going with the good works. I think I would like to thanks to all attendees and to participants and all the the hosts and co-hosts that already make this webinar is going smoothly. Thank you so much, and I'm giving back this time for co-host and host, Dr. Yusi. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. Thank you, Dr. Marlinda, Prof. Mati Aniko, and Dr. Respati for sharing knowledge about how we can do the international publication. Hopefully the knowledge given will be useful for all of us. And thank you for all the participants who attended this event via Zoom or YouTube live streaming. The number of participants in this webinar is 330 people. The certificate will be issued via registered email or WhatsApp number within the 1 or 2 weeks after this event. We conclude this webinar by saying good afternoon and have a nice weekend for all of us. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you, Prof.
Take a pictures, Yusi. Take a pictures.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Prof. Yusi, take a pictures. Yusi.
Wait a minute. Okay, wait a minute. Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Great.
Thank you, Prof. Mati Aniko.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Prof. Mati. Thank you, Anggi.
Yep,
Thank you,
thank you.
Linda.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Prof.
Yusi.
Dr. Malinda.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, thank you.
See you, Prof.
See
Thank you.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Makasih Mbak Yeni.
Ya, sama-sama. Udah pindah ke Zoom lain nih aku nih. Pindah Zoom, makanya ganti nih di HP.
Terima
Yuk,
kasih
izin
ya.
live ya.
Ya, terima kasih Uci, Angga,
Sukses semuanya.
Rangga.
Bye-bye.
Sama-sama Mbak Linda.
Salam
Salam
sehat
sehat
ya.
Mbak Yeni.
Ya.